Hi, you're listening to the Chasing Tone podcast, or watching it on the YouTube. My name's Travis.
I'm Max.
I'm Brian.
The YouTube.
The YouTube.
YouTube.
Max figured out something before we started shooting. He basically said if you put the in front of anything, it makes you sound like a square. So
It's
like what was some of your examples that were clean?
Like the rap music.
Yeah, I love the rap music.
Or they were hooked on the marijuana.
They do the dopes.
Yeah. They would have learned the DARE program. Actually, that is proper English.
Yeah, actually,
that's proper
that does
English.
fit.
That doesn't quite
That
work.
would actually fit. But no, so yeah, the YouTubes.
The YouTubes.
The Insta pages.
The Facebook.
If you pluralize Facebook.
Hey, Facebook used to be the Facebook.
Yeah, the Facebooks. The Facebooks. No?
The face pages.
Boom. Face pages, Insta pages. That's really all I got. But
Twittergram.
Yeah, Twittergram. So you guys should try that. And hopefully at your jobs when talking to your superiors. That'd be the best. That'd be the best.
Send us an email at podcast after you get fired.
Yeah,
On the emails.
Yeah, podcast at wamplerpedals.com. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and get this one out of the way. So Max had an idea last week to start doing a funny email of the week because we're starting to get a lot of emails, and man, I couldn't be happier. It's great.
Most of them are
most of
spam, but
yeah, no, most of them. A couple of them are hate mail. The best one is that one guy that said he hated the show, and he mentioned things that like within the last minute of the show, and it's like, well, why'd you listen to?
you
the
listened
whole
to
thing?
29 minutes of
Yeah.
it, though.
But
Thought it'd get better. But
I love that.
Yeah.
It's the worst show ever.
I wasted 30 minutes of my life. So, here is
I love it,
here's
love it.
the funny / odd email of the week. And like I said in the last one, if you want to be known for the person or for the email that you sent, I'll let you know, but I'm not going to call anybody out, just in case. So this guy says about the latest podcast, and then he goes on to give a suggestion, and then after a very, very serious email with serious topics and no humor at all, he says, and now some jokes.
And it goes to like a page and a half of jokes.
A page and a half of you might be a redneck Jedi if jokes.
That's fantastic.
That was a truly legendary email.
Yeah, and I'll just I haven't even picked any of these out. There's like 20 of them. Here's one. Here's my favorite probably that I just now saw. You might be a redneck Jedi if the worst part of spending time on Dagobah is the dadgum skeeters.
The dadgum skaters.
Oh, that's
I love
awesome.
it. And camouflage cloaks. If you've ever heard the phrase "May the Force be with y'all," look, Brian's getting. I'm gonna forward these to you because you're just.
Yeah, I was reading through some of those. I was cracking up. Man.
So yeah, thank you very much for sending that email.
And for our southern listeners, this is not a slam on you.
not at all.
They don't get it. They're like, I don't see the joke there.
I don't see the
Yeah, I don't-
humor.
I don't-
Dadgum, y'all.
I don't see the problem nor the humor. Okay,
so
now this is a podcast about supposed to be a podcast about tone and gear related and just anything like that. So
far we're like 80-20. 80% off topic, 20% no?
yeah,
Got a little worse
you're
when the guys
probably
told me to come talk with you.
Okay, so things this guy emailed in and actually brought this up, and I'd never really thought about it because I guess I'm just too close to the situation. But he said, is the term boutique starting to be overused? And he went on to elaborate, basically saying, there's so many. Should we change the name to small batch builders or things like that? And I see his point.
Yeah.
Because there's some brands like. Am I allowed to? I don't feel like I'm calling out a brand because it's a very good thing. Like Mike Fuller, when he first started, he was very boutique, and now he's gotten very successful. Mm-hmm. He's doing a great job, doing great things.
I don't think at the time. I don't think when he came out, he was. I don't think anyone really said a boutique pedal.
Right.
I think it was just full tone.
Right.
You know? But I think somewhere along the ways, once the interweb started,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
He had to have
bigger
a term for it.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like we talked about this before, kind of like alternative music in the 90s.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
What was alternative about
Right.
it? You know.
Now it's the boutique industry, which now it's the main part of the industry.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the only thing that's really excelling now.
Yeah.
So you have brands like, I mean, I'm not going to say, I mean, they're always, Gibson and Fender. Those guys are always going to be huge unless they just absolutely just do the most ridiculous business decision that you could make or whatever.
Yeah, they'll
But-
probably be around for years. Now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and especially Gibson, because I think they own all of North America. You know,
Probably.
I mean, not just music. I mean, I think they buy states. But no, seriously, if you go to the Gibson family of brands or whatever, you know, hey, it's a matter of time before they say, "Hey, Brian, we want to buy Wampler pedals. Do you make guitars?"
I would say if you put the right number of zeros in that offer, then
Can you tack on an extra one on the far left for me?
sure,
Is that
why
cool?
not?
Is that cool?
Sure.
And then you'll never hear from me again. I won't ever bother you again, except for when I need to borrow your pressure washer again.
You should. That's true. I think if that happens, I'm going to buy this town and call it Wamplerville. You know?
There's a hill.
And every road's going to be named like after a capacitor. Be like, well, that's 1K. Or that's a resistor. So that's
That's 1K. That's 1KR. That's 1KM. That's 1KO.
That's the 2.2 microfarad electrolytic road.
Yeah. So you go down left. You take 47K, and then you're gonna turn left on 0.47K, and then make a right on 4.7K. You're there.
Just right
Can't
before
miss it.
the Rheostat Road right there.
Everybody, yeah, no cars, only golf carts and four-wheeler.
Dude, I'd rock a golf cart to work. That'd be awesome.
Can we come in a little late? Because they take longer.
Well, of course, if you're in Wamplerville, you're always 15 minutes late. So
Yeah.
15.
15.
Times 5.
You know, my favorite is anytime we go to a show, like when we were going to NAMM, you're like, all right, we got to be out of here no later than 1. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, well, it's going to take some time to load up the trail. You know what? I'll just come out at 9. And you're like, okay, cool. You know, I'll meet you out there to load. 4 o'clock rolls around, and you're just now coming out. Sorry, I was on business meetings all day.
You ready for a beer?
I'm like, but you're drunk.
It was really good business.
Yeah, it's only half true. No,
that's the slight exaggeration.
Yeah.
Just buzzing. I wasn't drunk.
But I ate a whole pizza.
But you know, so we're so far off track, but I love it. You know that there's always going to be the huge brands, I think. But that being said, I don't know if I say this because I'm in the industry, but I honestly saw this before I started working here. I honestly think that, you know, with all modern technology, that the big builders and companies are getting smaller and the smaller companies are getting bigger.
Absolutely, man.
If they're doing it correctly, the smaller businesses, that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's technically it's a long tail effect. So
Yeah, of course.
So there's a ton of smaller builders that are getting bigger, and not that everyone's going to go up to 5,000 units a month or whatever pedals a month, but if you're at 5,000 or 10,000 pedals a month, which is a pretty good size.
That's a huge difference right there. Yeah.
I mean, you're struggling to maintain that, so the markets are just kind of leveling out to kind of a middle ground there. So
yeah. So, but the thing, back to the word boutique, and like you said, that's a good point. When Mike Fuller first started out, and I'm using him as an example. I guess I could use Robert Keeley or Mike Piara and all those guys, right? I mean, and Brian Wampler.
Yeah.
Brian who?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know like all the numbers of the different builders, So,
right. And I'm not really talking numbers. I'm talking about the public perception, the customer perception. And I know it's hard for you to see because
it is. I'm kind of isolated from it.
Right, of course.
So
and I kind of Max and I both are now,
Sure, yeah.
but I've only been in this industry. I've been working 2 years, maybe just under 2 years.
Yeah.
So, I've really and. Once you come into this industry, you have to hit the ground running, so you're playing catch up as soon as you get in. So I feel like
it's always changing.
Yeah,
Everything's
exactly.
always changing.
And yeah, but to the outside customer, basically me, I always saw Full Tone, Wampler, Analog Man, and who else did I just mention?
Keeley's.
Yeah, and Keeley, yeah. So I always saw those as like the big four, but I always saw you more as like it's kind of like the John Mellencamp thing. Like we're in Indiana, we are literally half hour from John Mellencamp's house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
so growing up here, I just thought Mellencamp was big around here.
Right.
I had no idea how big he was until I lived in Florida for a
Yeah,
while.
it's still odd for me to like be in California at a show or something, and I hear a song in a Mellencamp song in a restaurant or whatever.
Exactly. So it's kind of like
John
that
Mellencamp.
same thing for me. So when I lived, 45 minutes from you or whatever, half hour from you.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of saw you as like the local guy that's doing really, really well.
Right, and
You know?
I generally still, I still kind of look at myself that way.
Right, and
You
that's
know?
great. But I mean, I think the thing that makes you, a little larger than what you think you are is the obviously the country music thing, but the international base as well.
Yeah, it
know?
is. I mean, it's when I like pull myself away from it and look at numbers, then it shows a different picture, and I'm like, wow. I never
Right,
thought.
and keep in mind, sorry to keep busting your stones on this, but I'm talking numbers aside, because that's the stuff that the customer doesn't see, and number two probably doesn't really care about.
Right. Oh, I totally agree. Yeah.
But at the same time, apparently they do kind of care about those numbers, because I think that is what leads to somebody keeping boutique status.
I mean,
you can't put a number on it.
That's the thing.
It's
I mean,
quantitative.
How do you qualify that?
You can't quantify. So it's like, but I guess I don't know how to say it. I think maybe if there was going to be a restructure, instead of dropping the word boutique, I don't think you drop it. I think you categorize it. I think you call high end. Maybe, because I consider we may not be quote unquote boutique, because I think of, and I don't mean any offense by this at all, and it's going to come off bad, but please understand I don't mean any offense. But the guy that's only selling 15 pedals a month working out of his garage, that's boutique.
Yeah, that's
boutique to me.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I think of like clothing boutiques, like when you're in a town or whatever, and there's like a little clothing boutique there that you walk in. It's independently owned. They don't do a lot of business. They may not even ship.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So to me, that's boutique. To me, the guy that's, and obviously I can't put a number on it, but I like to think of us and Full Tone, or Wampler and Full Tone, and Keeley and Analog Man, JHS, Earthquaker. I mean, the list goes on. It's like high-end guitar effects.
I agree. I think music stores and marketers in general tend to like to use terms.
Right, of course.
So, I mean, what you have is a bunch of large-scale, large-scale retailers selling boutique pedals. You know what I mean?
Right, and the thing...
In reality, it's not really boutique. It's about as boutique as Soundgarden was alternative.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They were just a rock and roll band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I think... And if you got...
Soundgarden was a big band in the 90s.
Don't get me started.
Funny.
Look, just go listen to your Blink 182 and we'll be fine.
And shut up.
Yeah.
Love the record show. I never liked Blink-182.
Go back and listen to your Miley Cyrus. It's fine.
But so I think if there was going to be a restructure there, I think the bigger brands, and I don't know what other companies sell, and it's not any of my business. I don't know the numbers. I'm kind of aware of our numbers a bit, but I would like to think that the ones that are frequently pop up on the forums are probably going to be. I look at them more as a high end manufacturer. Basically, if you can afford to go to NAMM shows, you're probably a high end manufacturer.
Well,
and there's
not always.
I know. When
I was first starting out, I financed my NAMM on a credit card.
That's the first time I met you.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah.
It? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It was 2006.
Something like 6 or 7.
Something like that. Yeah.
In Summer NAMM. Yeah.
But you were tucked away in a corner, and all you had was a banner and like 6 pedals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember that.
I was like, let me get one of them pedals one time. Come on. No, actually, no, not really. Because I remember I was like, man, what attracted me over there was there's this beautiful guitar, and I got up to it and I played it, and it was the worst playing guitar I'd ever played in my life. And then your booth was right next to it, and I was like, I know you. I've met you in Guitar Center. You know, I asked you to build me an Octafuzz, and you said no.
because I said I hated fuzz. I hate it. Leave me alone. No, I'm teasing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like I'm trying to think of some. Like for instance, let's go guitars. Like I consider like Don Grosh guitars. I consider those boutique.
Dude,
you know,
yeah.
he's doing well.
Or
You know,
Charles or Whitfield's.
yeah, Charles Whitfield. You know,
I mean, I guess me personally, like, guitars are kind of weird because you have guys who are actually making guitars, and then you have guys who are buying parts and assembling guitars.
yes.
So, and I guess, but really, I guess you have that in the pedal industry. You have a lot of the boutique guys are buying populated circuit boards
Coming from another country.
and sometimes yes, and sometimes no.
Okay.
I mean, there's several different manufacturers that do nothing but build pedals for
Right.
a lot of boutique builders.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
You know what I
gotcha.
mean? Like, for example, Cusack is one that he builds pedals for other companies.
Right.
John Cusack, who has his own line. Great guy, too.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, so...
And might I say he has the best marketing picture I've ever seen.
Oh, with
The one with
the amp in the air?
with the amp in the air standing by the car. I always forget the name of the movie. It's John Cusack, the actor.
yeah, I
Obviously,
forget
it's one
the
of
name.
his flicks, but it's the one $2.
Right.
I forget the name of it. Somebody email in to podcast@wamplerpedals.com.
You get a free guitar pick.
You get a what?
Free guitar pick.
Yeah, free. Free oven mitt to the first person. Free Tupperware lid to the
Act
first
now,
person.
and you'll get your very own Wampler pin.
Limited time only.
Yeah, you pay shipping and handling. You got to pay the handling.
Yeah, the
too.
handling is what gets you.
Yeah, the shipping's actually free. It's the handling.
Okay, so what were you even talking about? I totally lost it.
But the you're talking about Cusack and how he
Oh, that's where I was
manufactures
going with that. Okay, so boutique. So you have guys that are, they're making their own circuit board. They're placing their own components in the circuit board and soldering it and wiring it up. Then you have the far end of this spectrum, which are guys like we talked about here recently, who are taking other pedals and putting their name on it. So hopefully, gladly that doesn't happen. Very often. But,
I am going to.
And then in between, you have guys that are just they have their own circuits and they use this manufacturer over here, and it's in America too. Sometimes it's not, and they get populated circuit boards. They bring them in house and they wire them up there in house.
Right.
So and it's just a different way that people are doing it now, because the truth is a lot of us guys who are boutique builders. We aren't college grads. We're guitar players who started out doing DIY stuff.
Yeah, and that's the
and
good
then people
thing, 'cause-
started asking us for pedals for them, and then their friends started asking us, and then like, oh, we got a business. Oh crap, we got a business
Yeah.
now. So
So
you probably could edit
no,
that part
I'll
out.
bleep that out. Yeah, that's it. Let me see. That's at 18 minutes and 19 seconds. Let me write that.
So yeah, I mean, so you're like, oh crap, I have a business now.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of thrown into the situation where you have to figure out how business works
Yeah.
without any formal education or knowledge of it necessarily,
Yeah.
So, and I think that's probably a big reason why a lot of us pedal guys just kind of stick together and always calling each other and like, dude, what this?
Right.
What did you do here? Whatever you were.
And I know
in this
you're a little
situation.
embarrassed by that little slip there, but to me, I don't think so. It just shows that you're still passionate about it. You know what I mean? You still get fired up after doing this for so long.
I'm sure I'll get someone that says, I don't like you anymore because you used the F word.
The S word, yeah. But yeah, I'll bleep it. But the magic of editing. We're on a 3-second delay here.
Sure.
What kind of chip is that? I need to find one of those chips.
But
3-second delay.
yeah, 3-second delay.
Is it tap tempo on that?
I want to talk about tap tempo real quick.
Let's
No,
do it.
sorry.
You're at the right place.
No, this is going to be a really quick conversation. We were having if I remember, where were we? Were we in Nashville? I think Max was actually there too. It was you, Dean, myself, and John Cusack, I believe. the like little breakfast area of a hotel, and we were talking about
that was Nashville. Yeah, Nashville
Amp Expo.
Yeah, we were talking about Tap Tempo, and I love John, man, because he takes things to that next level.
Oh yeah, he's like so bright
and
that
meticulous.
You're like, all right, John, dumb it down for me, please.
Yeah, and
You're real smart.
I mean that with a ton of respect. The guy.
Oh yeah,
so bright.
that's a good thing. I mean, he's just a bright dude.
But what I thought was cool was this is a tap tempo tip. Ooh, tongue twister. Say that.
Tap
Tap
tempo
tempo
tip. Tap tempo tip.
That's easier to say than solder party.
It is.
Yeah, which
or
is
struggle snuggle. No.
yeah. That's what Brian. That's what Brian tries to call work. is he calls it a solder party. He's like, come over and let's have a solder party.
I thought you were still talking about
not the struggle snuggle.
I'm like, yeah, I don't.
No, although he sent me this picture the other day.
Oh, this is awesome.
He sent me a picture. Maybe we could have Logan edit.
Yeah,
we can edit
it. Yeah.
So if you watch this on YouTube, hopefully we can get that.
You've got to see this picture, so you have to watch this on YouTube.
But what he did is, I think he paused his television, and he snapped a picture of it, and it was two female MMA fighters in a very, very awkward
opposite positions.
Opposite positions, L7, if you will.
L7.
Yeah, I'll give you a second for that visual. L7.
I got it. Yeah, you know the drawing out there.
I'm talking to the listener just in case, because they hear the
opposite.
They were in an L7 position. And by the way, feel free to use that. Just give me a little credit for it.
You can email in a podcast at Wamplerville.com.
Technically, they were grappling, so they were wrestling
if
on the
that's
ground.
what you call it. But
the way that they were doing it.
You know, I am actually, you always make fun of me for grabbing my phone during these episodes, but it's too dang good, man. I have to find exactly what you said there. Let me see. Let me find it. Okay, you said, can I say that?
Yeah, you can't, because I was cracking up.
Yeah, he says, women's MMA. Is this still a struggle snuggle or light porn? And I'm at a gig, right? I didn't get this text till 1:30 in the morning. And you could tell he was so proud of it, because the next day at 4:43 p.m., because to me it was one of those things I was like, oh man, I want to text back, but it's too late. And then the next morning you're like, the moment's passed. It's not going to be funny.
Yeah, and I was like all proud of myself.
Yeah,
I was like,
so at 4:43 he just writes back, nothing? I thought it was funny. That chick kept sticking her in the other girl's face.
they're like trying.
I think it's pronounced poontang, not pudding tang.
Yeah, it's supposed to be poontang, not pudding tang.
Pudding tang, is that what the astronauts say?
I don't think Bill Cosby would be proud of that one.
Oh man!
Oh yeah.
This escalated quickly.
But anyways, yeah. So.
That applies to pedals.
It was very odd, because like I'm a huge MMA fan.
Well, now we understand why.
I'm watching this for because I like MMA.
Can I say that?
And I'm like,
say that?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So I was like, I'm oddly getting aroused here.
No, you said,
I don't know if I should probably change this now.
No, you said, I don't know whether I should be aroused or cheer on the fight. I said, why not both?
Foxy boxing.
Remember when that was supposed to be about tap tempo?
Yeah.
So if they played guitar, they'd have a delay. That's how we.
Oh man.
No, that was like the circle.
That is the most noise Max has ever made.
My mom is not going to be proud of this episode at all.
Man, dude, your mom doesn't listen to these.
No,
I told my mom the show's canceled.
She does, because she texted me. She was like, "Oh, you guys were so funny yesterday."
Oh, that's awesome! I can't believe she listens to these.
She loves them.
And she probably thinks I'm a nut now.
She always did.
Hey, we can smell our own.
I still have, and Mom, I love you, but I have a picture. You're at my house on Thanksgiving last year.
Yeah.
My mom had one too many glasses of wine. And so I took a picture of her feeling good, back on the couch, holding her wine glass up. And
tilted. She was tilted.
Oh, yeah. So that's so every time she calls me, that's the picture that comes up. So every time I answer, I'm like just cracking up. She's like, what are you laughing about? I'm like,
nothing.
The favorite part of that day, Max, was obviously it's Thanksgiving. I wanted to watch football, and so did your brother. You know, your brother wanted to watch football, and there was a Modern Family marathon going on.
Modern Family's a show.
I want to
here in
watch
America.
Modern Family.
Yeah. So and she was like, this game's boring. Can we just watch some Modern Family? And she doesn't talk
Modern
like that.
Family.
She doesn't talk like that. But anyway, she is a little tilted, right? You know?
Yeah, she was.
So
she had like a glass and a half, which is like a glass and a half over what she would normally have.
Yeah. So like,
Actually, about 3 glasses.
but she had she kept saying Modern Family, and she was really into wanting to watch this show. So I was like, dude, your mom said Modern Family like 4 times.
Oh, that's right. We
remember,
started keeping tally.
You kept tally on your whiteboard in your kitchen.
We started keeping tally every time. And then we started like trying to get her like, Mom, what is it you wanted to watch again? Modern Family. Modern Family.
And of course, your mom's a very bright person. She's no dummy. She knew what we were doing. I mean, she caught on. I mean, I wouldn't even say she caught on because I think she just knew from the get-go. But she played along with it, which was so funny.
Oh, it was hilarious. I remember how we had like 50 marks. It was great. And if she played guitar, she'd have a delay too.
Yeah, with tap tempo.
Probably with subdivisions.
My brain's just checked out at this point. It's like, I'm getting out of here. So for those of you watching, you're probably like, why does Max have a blank look on his face? That's just my brain left just this very second. I literally put it on screensaver mode. I just watched the ball bounce. That, or like, for those of you that are a little bit older, you remember the old 90s screensaver, the endless pipes that build themselves?
I do remember
Yeah, that's the other one I have.
That's awesome. But John Cusack and Tap Tempo.
Next level.
Next level. Yeah, he took it to the next level because we were talking about how some, and I think what it was is we were talking to him about it, and we were kind of giving him praise about how accurate his tap tempo is. Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, some people don't think it is. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, well, we get people emailing in about how our tap tempo isn't as accurate as it should be. And he said, my first question to that is, how many times did you tap it? And most of the time it's 2 or 3. Right. Because I think ours is 2, right? You can tap it twice and it works. Or is it 3?
I think it's 3.
Is it 3? Okay, shows how much I know. But no wonder it doesn't work. But he actually brought in I forget how many, but a pretty good number of drummers.
Yeah.
And he basically said, okay, here's a metronome. I want you to tap twice and then see how well it stacks up. And then he had them do the same thing, only tap 4 times. Mm-hmm. And when the drummers would tap 4 times, it would stay perfectly in time. When they would tap 2, it would waver. Right. And basically, and I never thought about it to that extent because you're in such a hurry, you just tap 2 or 3 times. Right. And
well, you know what he told me, the biggest nugget from that, which is your first tap is always completely off. Always.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
So he said, if you're tapping 2 or 3 times, it's probably not going to be accurate.
Right. And the thing is like, and he wasn't like defensive about it. He was just because that's Johnny. He's just matter of fact. And he's like,
that's what the numbers say,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's like, I'm not just making this up. I'm not just telling you my tap tempo is accurate. I'm giving you proof here. So try that, guys. If you guys ever doubt your tap tempo or anything like that, or next time you're playing, just hit it 4 times. I guarantee it's gonna stay more true. And I think with ours, if you do get off, you can just hit it 1 time and it resets. Right?
You hold it down for just a second. Okay. Yeah, you hold it down for just a second and it resets. I think the tremolo is that way too.
Well, I knew the tremolo was like that, but apparently I really need to learn our pedals because I thought it was 2, and then I thought you could just tap it once. I swear you can just tap it once.
I don't.
Or maybe I just.
I kind of forget.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'd have to test that part of it.
Don't worry about asking the customer service guy. That's all right.
Oh, yeah. Hey, customer service guy.
You got to tap it 3 times.
You got to tap it 3 times. Yeah. Then do you have to hold it down, or do you just hit it once?
You can hold it down or hit it once. Either one works.
Okay.
Really? Mm-hmm. I learned something about my own pedals today.
Boom. Boom.
You're welcome, though. I appreciate you guys asked me first.
I thought you checked out, bro.
I did for a while.
You're on had the snakes mode. And the pipes and the balls.
Oh, yeah, I'm back now.
Okay,
I told
you're back now? Okay, so I moved your mouse?
Yeah, for those watching at home, just rewind. And you'll see the blank face, and then I'm engaged.
You are engaged, and you're getting married.
Yeah.
Oh,
the 25th.
Wordplay.
Uh-huh. me and my wife are gonna buy something nice, like some cutting boards or something.
I was thinking like the year 2012 of MMA fights or something like that. Or?
I was trying to convince Charles about a guitar.
You know what I
He
do?
said no.
I know what I'm gonna get you.
If you say Whitfield.
I'm gonna get you one of the
Whitfield Stratocaster.
I'm gonna get you one of the bath mats in the shape of a foot.
I know what I'm going to get you. I'll give you the gift that got given to me by Travis, which is bungee cords. Travis gave me bungee cords for Christmas last year.
Oh, hell yeah, I did. Dude,
That's a gift that keeps on giving right there.
And it's like, these were given to me. I'm passing them on to you.
I told him it was a regift, man.
It was a re-gift.
And they're high quality. They're still in the package.
They are.
Then I don't see the
I've been
problem.
saving them. So, Max, that's what you have to look forward to.
Awesome.
One of my best regifts was okay. So imagine what's the dude's name that ruined Clapton's music? Phil Collins. So imagine Phil Collins redoing like classic Motown hits with like synthesizers and terrible drum.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
Yeah. So basically, I had this. Somebody gave me this like 3-disc collection of like all these great Motown hits because I love that music. And they were all like synthesized beats. And I mean, really though, it sounded like, and don't get me wrong, you guys make fun of me all you want, but I love me some Hall & Oates. But anyways, imagine those. Yeah. Dude, break down that bass line. It's groove, man. But anyway, imagine like those drum tracks all over these great Motown hits. So my buddy Larry, he was like, and he's an older guy. He was like, I don't know, 55 at the time or something like that.
Brian's age now.
Yeah, like your age. But and keep in mind, that's not older to me anymore now that I'm a little older.
Now he's 51.
But, yeah, exactly. But back then I was like 25, so of course that was old to me. But so he was telling me how he's got this. His wife is worked in the child support division for the state of Indiana. She's like number 2, like the person.
Yeah.
So he was like, man, I'm entertaining a bunch of lawyers and people like that for this dinner party, man, and I have no idea what to do because I'm really into rock music, you know. I don't know how to host. I was like, dude, everybody likes old Motown.
It's true.
So I gave him this 3-disc set, and he plays it for all the lawyers. He said 5 or 6 years after, he's like, they still make fun of me for that. Because it was like smooth jazz versions of all it. But no, so I am.
That's awesome.
I'm a very good regifter. I am a very so bath mat in the shape of a foot is probably coming to you, and then you can regift that to Craig.
And definitely some bungee cords.
His wedding's already passed.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be for his wedding. It can be for
Good
Christmas.
call. Yeah, his birthday's coming up.
Yeah, or if you're good at saving things, first anniversary.
That's true. I had to hold on to it for a long time, though.
Yeah.
I'd rather just have a Whitfield. Remember the time I had a boutique guitar?
Hey, you need to call him. Just call him. Plead your case. Say, what can you do for me?
You know what we should do?
What?
We should start selling advertising on this here podcast. And
There you
save
go.
up for Max to get a Whitfield
GoFundMe.
Stratocaster.
There we go.
There we go. We should
somebody needs to start a
crowdfund.
GoFundMe.
There you
we
go.
should crowdfund Max a Stratocaster from Charles Whitfield.
Yeah.
A GoFundMe. Who wants to start it?
A
I can't start it for myself. It looks bad.
Dude, okay, real quick. I know we're about out of time, but this is a true story, and I'll tell you who it is after the podcast. Somebody that Max and I know really, really well. The guy basically lives at a bar. Okay, not that that's a bad thing, but he eats there. He works at a bar, so it's not at this bar. So it's not like he's an alcoholic. It's just that's where his friends are. So he eats there, obviously drinks there, plays golf every day, is not very frugal. He just started a GoFundMe account for somebody to help him get a $10,000 to put a down payment on a house. And like every one of his friends know about his spending habits, and it's like, and as soon as I tell you who it is, you're gonna be like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So now he's the butt of all these jokes. But
does he use tap tempo?
Oh no, he does not. He does not play music.
Oh, he's not a guitar player.
Well, he kind of plays.
I kind of know who you're talking about now. I think.
Yeah, but anyway, that the GoFundMe. There we go. We need a
crowdfund a Stratocaster for Max.
Yeah.
A Woodville Strike.
Look at him. He's
and the graphics on it should have like #wrong. On it.
That could be an awesome, serial number on the back.
Yeah.
Hashtag wrong, and then the serial number.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. So, okay, so basically all we hit on a little bit was tap tempo, and then our take on the term boutique in the industry. Mm-hmm. So I think that's got some good stuff there. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, comments, or anything like that, hit us up at podcast@wamplerpedals.com. Also check out the Instagram and the Facebook page, facebook.com/chasingtonepodcast, and the Instagram handle Chasing Tone Podcast. I think our first picture is I stopped and got some hash browns on the way to work today and took a picture of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just hash brown.
And we put podcasts every Monday, right?
Yeah, every Monday.
Every Monday.
Yeah, and also you can check them out on Wampler Pedals site. I don't know where you're listening to this from, but just about anywhere, really. Stitcher, iTunes, all that stuff.
Yeah, if you just, if you're a member of the newsletter, then I'll send you an email every week. But wamplerpedals.com/podcast. YouTube, search for Chasing Tone Podcast.
Yeah.
Google it.
Google
it, monkey.
What do you call Google?
Oh, the Oracle.
The Oracle. Anytime I have a question, he always pulls out his phone and shows it to me and says, consult the Oracle.
It knows all.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Until next week. Shiny,